Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 117 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and we've got a great show in store for you today. We're going to talk about some vertical living, and in the second segment,
we are going to talk about, let's see, what are we going to talk about today?
we're going to talk about what to expect when you inspect your home.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, stay tuned, people. There's more riveting information coming right away. It's so busy, it's hard to keep track of everything going on right now.
Sometimes it is.
Right now it is.
This week's gotten really busy. It's been really nice to really get back into the groove of things.
Absolutely. I think it's again, you're going to hear us say it over and over again, but there's a difference right now in the market in that both buyers and sellers are winning. Buyers are getting great interest rates below 3% many times, and then sellers are doing really well as well.
Yeah, the housing prices, I was reading this morning that housing prices have gone up, I think, 7% in the last 6 months, and that's the median sales price. It's always hard to talk about, the sales price itself because there are so many factors that come into, what data are you looking at? But looking at that median sales price, it's definitely on the way up.
And one of the things also that we've kind of noticed that's a little bit of a shift in the market is showing this week. We've shown several buyers, and it turns out that they're really reducing the amount of time you're allowed in a home. Mm-hmm. I think right after this show, we're going to show one home to a client, and there's only a 15-minute window because there's so many people and just because of COVID.
Yeah, and it creates a little bit of a challenge, especially on the weekends, like when you go out and you're showing somebody, 8 or 10 houses, and you don't really know exactly how long you're going to spend in each one, so you've got to really work on the fly. I mean, we did that. We were both showing houses to a couple of clients earlier this week where I was kind of managing the showing schedule in the background because we were at one point running so far ahead that we were getting there early, and then at one point we were running a little bit behind because there was one that they wanted to really take a good hard look at.
Yep. And so it's interesting, a great market. If you're thinking about it, we'd love to hear from you. It is definitely a time to start thinking and getting serious about it. The other thing that we're going to point out is that in the comments below, you're going to see a link to what's called Rooted In. And Rooted In is a brand new company that was started by Patrick Dickinson and some of his other friends. Patrick was on the show a while back, I think maybe 2 years ago, and he's a landscape architect. Mm-hmm. And right now, Rooted In is actually selling fruit trees that you can pick up, I think, on February the 20th. You pay for them now and then pick them up. So I went ahead and ordered 2 pomegranates because I want 2 pomegranate trees, and we're going to see how that goes.
What are you going to make with those?
I don't know.
That's always one of those fruits that's really hard to kind of figure out. What are you going to do with it?
I like to, so I don't mind eating them, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But the other thing, too, is I want to try to cast them and then take and make porcelain replicas. So we'll see. So let's get on with the vertical living and talk about some homes. With this.
Oh my gosh, these are 2 of my favorite buildings. They are 2 of the, we have a lot of people that live in the downtown market, but there are only a few places that you can actually own a unit.
Right.
And these are 2 of my favorite places down there, both high rises, both really a great set of amenities for the building. And from a location perspective, you just really can't beat where these are.
And downtown has done so much to come alive with the AT&T center down there that it's a different way. I lived in downtown Dallas when I first moved here in 2008, and it was okay, but it wasn't I'm going to turn my phone off. It's apparently vibrating, but it wasn't actually as conducive as it is now from a standpoint of the parks. There's two different parks. They bookend Metropolitan, which is the second home, and then the other end, right across from the old federal
The
parking
old
garage.
Dallas County Courthouse, and it's the UNT Law Library now.
Absolutely.
Law College, excuse me.
So there's so much down there. You know, it was interesting because we went down there this probably during the holidays just to walk around, and there is a gym down there, and I think it's a Cowboys gym, and it's at the bottom of the inner urban building that I used to live in, which was where the grocery store was. It's probably the best gym I've ever seen for equipment and the different amount of cardiovascular that you can do now. So there's so much that's really infilled and supports a true downtown living experience.
Yeah, it really does. And we have grocery stores now. There is a huge Tom Thumb that is just across the Woodall Rogers Freeway in the Uptown area. But, you know, it's a great big Tom Thumb down there. There's also Blue Grocer downtown if you want something that's on the more elite end of product.
And when I lived there were also, we didn't have the Calatrava that connected, and therefore we didn't have Trinity Grove. And so there was almost, you had to go into Uptown to actually get into like the restaurant scene. So it's really nice that so much has changed. The walkability, it has really given it a life. And so this is the first one we're going to take a look at. It's 1505 Elm, Unit 303.
And this building itself has a really, really pretty cool history on it. This building was built in it was built as the Federal Reserve Building. Pardon me, I lost my train of thought there, but built as Federal Reserve Building, and was connected to all the underground tunnels there for a long time, which it is no longer connected, but was converted to condos back in the early 2000s. And from a location perspective, you know, where we were talking about walkability, this is it's 100 points walkability. You have a DART rail station that's just within a block of there. You have a bus connection that is right outside of that. The downtown is, you know, crawling with Ubers if that's your mode of transportation. And almost all of these buildings have really, really cool bike storage built in. So being able to have that as your one of your primary modes of transportation is super easy too.
And the Arts District was not there, you know, until like 2011, 2012. And so there's so much down there that is also offered. If that's what you like, there is really almost everything that you want. Clyde Warren Park is brand new as well.
Yep.
A couple years old, but it's a great area down there.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the unit. So there's 65 units in this building, and they all have these really cool configurations. You have kind of an entry into many of these that you don't have in a lot of condos, and you have you walk in this nice little entryway into this little sitting area that could be used as a dining room, could be used as a little office area. But you've got it's all open with that very, very contemporary feel from that little dining area all the way into the kitchen.
And I'm going to say that they've done such a great job with both the color selects and the finish outs in this remodel that they did. And one of the things I feel like they've paid attention to is the amount of space there is for art. And as Jeff was saying, it's a wonderful way that this transitions. And the kitchen is very well featured in this unit. It's an open concept, as you'll see in just a few, but they've done a great job of giving it flexibility. So here we see that we can seat 4 at this kitchen island very easily. And then there's also a dining room table.
Stainless steel appliances, solid surface countertops, travertine flooring. One of the really cool, important things about this unit is it is a southwest corner unit. And the important part of that is it gives you a view out onto Ackerd, and then it also gives you a really cool view down Main Street. If you saw the teaser we did earlier in the week, you will see that the visuals out this building during the day or in the evening are spectacular.
And this is a corner unit, and as you can see right here, that was right where Jeff shot the teaser for earlier. It has so much natural light. One of the great things about this one is that there's a parking garage that doesn't actually block a lot of the sunlight, but it also creates it where you're not up against another building with windows just facing you. Here we're going to take and look and pivot back, and you can see that there's room perfectly symmetrical for both the TV, and then there is a cabinet there on the other side that's really great and very useful.
And they've got trade ceilings in every room, which really give you even a better sense of space in these. You have some window ledge places where you can have lots of plants if you want. These bathrooms are done to a really luxury level. This one's had the countertops updated, the cabinetry's been painted, still has the big walk-in shower with the separate tub, and that door that you see closed right there walks into a huge master closet.
Yep, and who doesn't want storage? That is one of the big things when you live vertically, is being able to have everything and be able to get to it. Here you can see they've really invested in having a professional company come out and install. I'm not sure if it's Alpha, California Closet, whatnot. But then this is even more amazing, is that on the floor, there is a storage unit for you. So you can see here that they've taken in items that they don't have in the unit, they brought out here. Now, as one of the things that you get with vertical living is you get a lot of amenities, and this building has them in spades. So here we see that we've got an outdoor living space and outdoor pool. Now, wonderful. We've been out here so many times. Wonderful views in the evenings, a great place to get sun. There is also a place up here that's a little bitty small area that you can actually take and walk your dog, so you don't actually have to go to the street level. We find that a lot of the homeowners really appreciate that, especially in the evenings when they don't want to really go out on the street. It's a really good substitution.
It is, and this outdoor space has outdoor grills that are available to all the residents. There's several outdoor dining spaces that if you want to get outside but still have the social distancing, that is perfect. And this has, down in the basement levels, this has a gym that is about to be redone. We saw the plans for it when we were in the lobby the other day. You also have what is called the Moroccan room, and that is a club room downstairs that residents can go down to, and each one of them has their own wine storage facility behind each one of those doors. You have the dining room. This happened to be the old vault in the original building. But then you also have this 15-person theater that you can either reserve for your group or go down and just hang out with some of the other residents in the building.
And one of the things to notice about that vault, your cell phones probably don't work, so great place to have a dinner party.
True.
So again, this is 1505 Elm, and it's 303. It's a 1-bedroom, 2 full baths, built in 57. It's 15, almost 1,600 square feet, and that's priced at $235, which is $150 a foot, and that is amazing.
It really is. And, you know, one of the things that I wanted to point out is that living in this unit, including your HOA fees, your taxes and everything, if you were doing, you know, roughly 10% down, your house payment on this is only going to be about $2,500 to $2,700 a month.
And that includes the concierge?
Yes.
And your car valet parked and brought to you?
Yes. It is 24-hour front door concierge. Really a super secure building.
The way it's set off, if you haven't been there, it's amazing.
Yep. They are managed by Worth Ross and Associates, who does a fantastic job in managing property like this. And you know, there are several other units available in there. I think there are 6 units that are priced from the low 200s all the way up to $325,000. So if you want a little bit bigger unit, a little bit higher unit, there's other inventory for you to look at.
Yep. And we want to say thank you so much to Melissa O'Brien for letting us feature this amazing home. If you'd like more information about this home, please check in the comments. There'll be a link to it. You can view all these pictures again, or if you'd like to see it, please contact us and we'd be happy to make that happen. All right.
So let's jump on to our next property.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead.
So our next property is the Metropolitan downtown, which is at 1200 Main Street. We're looking at unit 1904 today, and 1904 is a western-facing 1-bedroom with a study. Could easily be a 2-bedroom unit if you wanted it to. And again, location is fantastic on this. Right outside the front doors is Below Garden Park, a great place to get out and walk the pooch if you want to. You are a block away from the Bank of America Center. It is just a really great little walkability neighborhood.
And from the view on 1904, you actually have a view of the iconic green Bank of America building. So if you're looking for a nightlight or just a night scene, this is a really great place to live, easy to get in and out of. I think that which is it, the Campbell Federal Courthouse that's down there as well?
Right, Cabell Federal Courthouse right across the street.
And one of the things that's great about that is it's one of the most secure areas to live in because
Right.
there's
That's where the FBI is, and the
quite a
IRS
few.
is.
So if you're ever concerned about safety, I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
This one also comes with parking as well. We've actually had Jeffrey Roberts, our first assistant that we ever hired, actually lived in this building for years. And when we say that this is a vertical community, it absolutely is. It was funny to hear him talk about what he did on the weekends, and it always seemed like that there was a progressive dinner or there was someone that was hosting an Emmy party downstairs, and we'll show you where they would host. But it's a really good place to move, especially if you don't know a lot of people in Dallas. This
Absolutely.
is a really great place to get embedded with some great friends.
So this was built in 1972 as the main tower, 25-story structure. And here's a picture of Belo Gardens that is right out the front door of it. And then in 2005 is when the building was renovated, and they converted it into 283 units.
And they sold, it was a tough time, but they got them all sold. And so I think everybody has really enjoyed. This is going to be the remodeled lobby. And again, you have a 24-hour concierge. I believe that we actually know one of the managers that runs this, Derek, and so has a lot of great amenities to it. Inside the unit, we have solid wood floors. Again, if you can kind of look through that window, you see that is the Bank of America building. It's an easy, symmetrical building, or complex and unit. So it's easy to situate the furniture. It's easy to figure out where the TV goes. It's not a lot of mystery spaces in this one.
And you still have dining space in this, which works out really, really well in conjunction with the living space. The kitchen's got granite countertops on it. The small 1-inch tile backsplash that really kind of accentuates that. You have the stainless steel appliance package, and the configuration of this works really well if you do happen to have guests, because your bedrooms are fully separated from one another.
And that is one of the big things about having a space with 2 bedrooms, is to make sure that the bedrooms do split like what Jeff said. As you see here in the kitchen, the island is really prominent and is a really great divider of this space to create a dining room, living room space and separate from the kitchen. Also doubles as a great place to sit down and enjoy or work from as well. And we know so many people are having to work now. One of the things you'll see is, as Jeff was saying, these 1-inch tiles, they actually took them up to the roof, so it creates more of an architectural piece of interest. And as you pivot around, you're going to be able to see into the unit. They've done a good job with the pendant lights as well, not making them too large and too flashy. In a space like this, you don't want too many distractions.
And this is the master bedroom that, again, has those west-facing windows that the center one does open. So you've got good cross breeze through there if you need. The bedroom, as Weston said, is very symmetrical. The bathroom is really an oversized bathroom because you've got this really big walk-in shower stall, but then you also have the separate tub.
And so they've situated it so that they have 2 full-size bathrooms. And I think that that's really key, because in a roommate situation, oftentimes they get kind of skimped down. This is definitely not that feel. Here they're using this as more of an office with a pull-out. So you can see that it has that versatility. Again, here you really can't tell that much difference between the fit and finish of the second bedroom versus the master. So a really good choice of materials. They're pretty much timeless. And as we go into what the amenities are included in the HOA, there are so many.
Yeah, one of the first things is the club room downstairs, and this is a really casual meeting place. People come down, hang out, have a cocktail in the evening, and it's on the same level as the conference room, which is right here. Almost all of the amenities are right there on that one level, and so it makes it very, very convenient to do whatever you need to get done.
And so I believe these are on level 4, and they all have this window, and it opens up to the pool area. So this is the only space, and I believe this is more downstairs. This is where they host a lot of parties, and so I think they actually make notifications. The other thing too is they have it set up so that if you wanted to have just a movie, you can hook up and bring in your own movies as well. Not sure how this got in there, but we're already done.
Yep.
So this is 1200 Main, 1904, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, and it is
built in 1974, but that was renovated in 2005.
Yep, and we want to say thank you so much to Chris Hickman for allowing us to feature him. It is amazing.
It really is. There are some additional shots for some of the outdoor spaces that you do not want to miss on this. So if you'd like to take a look at that, please visit the link that is in the comments below, and you'll be able to do that. If you'd like to see this home, please reach out to us. Again, there are multiple units available in the building, multiple floor plans. We'd be happy to show you any of those.
And we will be right back after this short commercial break.
There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram account where you can see the latest homes we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com, where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you may find of interest. If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of other pieces of information and we will email you a price. If you are on the go and podcasts are better for you, our second segments are available on iTunes and Spotify. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223. Hi everybody, welcome back to the second segment of episode 117 of Sold with Updike Pugh. And today we're going to talk about what to expect during a home inspection.
And I think that is so critical, especially as the season of buying and selling really gears up. I think that there is a lot of uncertainty and that buyers go through right now. The option period is built in, and it's usually a negotiated either 7 to 10 days. And it's during that time that we're going to do the inspection. Typically what we try to get done is that once we feel like we're about to go under contract, you and I start reaching out to the inspectors that we use and let them know the address and find out when the availability is. Because what we try to do is make sure that we get you in on that inspection as soon as we can after the date of execution.
Absolutely. People, when you are under contract, you're traditionally going to have that little 7 to 10 day period that Weston mentioned called an option period. And during that time, you not only have to get the inspection done, you have to get any follow-up inspections done, because many times the general inspector, they're prohibited from like removing panels and things like that. So if they look at the air conditioning system and say, well, it's not quite operating up to par, you need to get this checked out by a licensed HVAC company. We've got to get that done during the option period too.
As well. And so this is a really good transition into what we're going to talk about. The inspector will note if there's extreme deficiency, or if something is of a certain age, that additional vendors need to come in, additional subs should come in. And so that can be anywhere from an HVAC, engineer, plumbers, and they can come out and take a look at stuff. And so, like Jeff said, what we try to do is make sure that there's plenty of time on the back end in order for us to be able to get those secondary people to take a look. And
inspectors are licensed and governed by the Texas Real Estate Commission, just like we are. They're issued licenses. They have to go through annual continuing education credits. One of the inspectors that we like to use is actually an instructor for a lot of the newbie inspectors coming in, and so he's very, very thorough, and he's very thorough, but he's also very realistic.
Absolutely.
One of the things that people don't realize is that when mechanical inspectors are doing their work, they're comparing that home to 2020 code, as if that house was built today. What are the things that are deficient about it? And so it can be the inspection reports, unless the house has a brand new construction, many times there's a lot of things that are marked deficient on it,
right.
But it's really just that they don't meet today's building standards if it were built.
And so a deficiency could be something as simple as there's not a light cover there's not a globe over the light in the closet. There's not a GFCI outlet in the garage. And so it's a simple thing, but the word deficiency in our vocabulary is really harsh. And so that's one of the things that we always try to make sense of. The other thing people always want to know is they think that they have to be there at the beginning of the inspection all the way to the end. It's not you that's doing the inspection, it's the inspector. And so we always try to share with people that our inspectors are extremely friendly and they always want to be accommodating and answer questions. But this is when they're on the job and you're paying them for this job.
Yeah.
And so they have a method, and they have a rhythm and a routine that they go through when they inspect houses. And if you're there, sometimes that can throw them off, and they can miss something. And so at the end of an inspection, there's a wrap, a summary is what we call it. And it's when the actual inspector takes the time and goes over all of the findings and goes over the report with you.
And it's really good because if you show up toward the end of the inspection, that inspector is going to take the time to go back over and show you everything that they're finding on the property, rather than, you know, we have some that they want to crawl around with the guy, and you know, you're free to do that process however you like. We don't recommend that, just because, as Weston said, it sometimes can throw that inspector out of sync.
Yep.
And, you know, we certainly don't want them to miss anything. One of the other things that I do want to point out is that it is totally your choice as the buyer which inspector you use. Many times people only go through this process every 5 to 7 years, and so they don't really know inspectors. And we're happy to always share information about people that we've worked with that some other clients have been happy with. But you're always in control of who does that inspection.
Absolutely. The other thing to keep in mind is that so many times people come in and they have this franticness about them, and I guess we've heard so much of this stuff that we're like, You don't have to take notes, because you're going to get a very detailed PDF that evening or the next morning that's going to have everything in it. And the inspectors that we try to use are available for phone calls. So if something doesn't quite make sense or you can't quite remember what they were saying, they're a phone call away. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like we're so specific about the inspectors that we appreciate and use.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the other things that is that it's one of those things you need to jump on right away when you get a house under contract.
It is. Time is of the essence of this one portion of the contract, therefore so is an inspection. There's a lot that goes on with an inspection. We're happy to help you out with it. We've got years of experience. If you're thinking of buying or selling a home anytime in the near future, we would love to hear from you.
We would love the opportunity.
Yep.
So thank you for joining us over your lunchtime today. We hope you enjoyed spending the time here, and we hope you got something out of it.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.